The college football experience, Michigan Wolverines 2022 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks, presented by WinBet. Bet $50 at WinBet, get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WinBet. That's WYNNBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy with Sleeper, but now you can win cold, hard cash with their brand new over-under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by IPVanish. Yes, IPVanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're offering 70% off if you go to IPVanish.com/SGP. Once again, that is IPVanish.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by SGPN Discord. Yes, make sure to check out our new Discord server, the perfect place to interact and sweat bets with the entire SGPN crew. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, Michigan Wolverines 2022 season preview episode. My name is Kobe Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Oh! They said it couldn't be done. Never fade, Captain Comeback, Jim Harbaugh, and I gotta introduce this guy because hey, I'll admit in a second here what's going on here. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh. Well,
I gotta give it up to Patty C here. I went back and listened. First, subscribe on YouTube to the College Football Experience. We're there on YouTube, but also subscribe wherever you can get podcasts. But I must look, every year we do our lock episode. Well, I mean, first off, every year we do our team previews for all 130 college football teams. This year it's 131 because James Madison. So subscribe to the College Football Experience. But in August we do a locks episode where me, Patty C, and NC Nick give out our top 10 plays of the year, win total wise. And this past year, we were fantastic. We hit at 70. Was it 74%? I believe 74%, something like that.
What was it? 40,
48.
44.
It might have been 72% or something. I don't remember, but off the top of my head. But yeah, 48 and 14 was it? Something like that. Yeah. I got to pull up the numbers again. But that episode's out there for anyone to listen to. If you think I'm talking out of my ass, that is not happening. I talk out of my ass a lot, but not in this situation. But Patty C, one of his locks that we thought was crazy, me and NC Nick, was Michigan over, I think it was 8 wins. And I said, man, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. If anything, I took the under. There was only 2 that really stood out to me that you nailed. I mean, you actually nailed a bunch that you agreed with us, but there was 2 that I thought were foolish potentially with ULM and Michigan, and you nailed it. You nailed it. You nailed it.
Well, to your credit, Michigan hadn't looked very good for the previous 2 seasons, and not just from a scoreboard standpoint and a wins and losses standpoint. They were getting physically dominated, which is kind of like what they do at Michigan.
Well, I didn't lock up the under or anything. I just said if I had to, I would have gone on the under, but I was wrong. And look, normally I'm a Harbaugh guy. Loved him. I loved him as a player. And yeah, you were right about that. And
I just figured he couldn't stay down that long, you know. And sometimes that's true, and sometimes it's not.
He should have never been on the hot seat. People that were saying the hot seat, look at what he's done to the program. I mean, even last year, in reality, they should have went undefeated in the regular season because there was a terrible call in that Michigan State game. They outgained Michigan State severely.
Yeah. They were a fantastic team.
They should have went undefeated in the regular season.
They just ran into a juggernaut in Georgia in the playoff.
Well, that's what's interesting. Had they gone undefeated in the regular season, and that call been correct on, there was a fumble in that game that they didn't deem a fumble, or they deemed a fumble, either or, I forget.
Yeah.
I think it was a fumble that they recovered for a touchdown, right?
Yeah. That was it.
And they overturned that.
Yeah.
And they also outgained Michigan State severely. They were the better team that day.
They probably would have been the 1 seed playing against.
That's what
Cincinnati.
I'm saying. They would have got Cincinnati, and then they would have played in the national championship.
It's funny,
crazy how little things like that matter.
Because the committee openly wants to avoid rematches. They probably would have put Cincinnati up at 4 or up at 3 and Georgia back at 4. So they would have had to play them anyway. But I don't know. I mean, that's the bullshit that the committee does, and it favors the SEC. So all you Big Ten lovers out there, you have a gripe there, but moving forward,
and to be fair, I guess Adrian Martinez did fumble away. I mean, they almost lost to Nebraska. That's
true.
But it was a great season. It was great to see Michigan in the college football playoff. I know Ohio State fans are cursing me now, but I mean, look, I liked Jim Harbaugh. I like difference. I like seeing other schools come up, and this was great to see. And shout out to the Michigan football program. And look, I know recently,
times have been tough.
Want to pay our respects to the great Gary Moeller, who passed away,
who was 3-1-1 against Ohio State.
Yeah, 3-1-1 against Ohio State, and look, he's a classic football coach, and
had an undefeated season in
really probably shouldn't have got fired,
in
but
1992, top 5 finish there.
Yeah, and here's Lloyd Carr back when he got hired on Gary Moeller.
This is one of the saddest days of my life because my friend Gary Moeller, a man that I have great respect for, admiration, and love, is no longer here.
Rest in peace to the great Gary Moeller. Shout outs to the sending the love and condolences to the Moeller family.
Just passed earlier this week, so
we love football, and a lot of these guys like Gary Moeller, and there's so many over the the existence of football, the history of football that have created it to get us into the spot where we're in now, where we can get paid to talk about it.
Moeller was Stembeckler's right-hand man for essentially the entire run at Michigan.
Pretty impressive. Impressive career. A life well lived. But anyway, I mean, look, talking Michigan football, man, because I know we got to dive into it. There's no easy way to come out of a segue when we're talking about death, and then but Gary Moeller, legendary coach, and a great year for Michigan last year. Patty C, what do you make of the future of this program? First off, Harbaugh kind of flirted with the NFL, but then reconfirmed that he's invested in Michigan.
Yeah, I think there's some contract. Well, what is it? It's NIL and I think he kind of his chess piece worked there because he got Michigan to invest in this NIL stuff.
As they should. I mean, they're a very successful university.
I mean, I want to say
they're very wealthy.
Top 3 in terms of
financial
payouts from endorsements. So they should be taking that money and doing the A&M thing.
Yeah.
They still aren't, it looks like. Well, the recruiting class currently isn't reflecting that, but maybe they'll wake up.
Well, I guarantee you they're going to do one thing that A&M doesn't do, win more than 8 games.
There you go.
All right.
That is true. Speaking of 8 games, that was an 8-game streak, losing streak against Ohio State that they just snapped.
Oh, and Jim Harbaugh loved this quote from Ryan Day in Ohio State.
Sometimes people that are standing on third base think they hit a triple, but they didn't.
Call me crazy, Patty C. And I know we have argued this. I'll take Harbaugh over Day all day. And as a coach, Ryan Day to me, like, I'm not trying to shit on Ryan Day, but I'm just saying he took over one of the most talented schools in America based on talent.
Yeah.
He's done okay. He hasn't done bad.
He's done really well.
Really?
He went to the national championship. He smashed Clemson in the playoff. I think Ryan Day when
their defense to be as bad as they've been over the years, I just think any coach could. I honestly believe. Call me crazy.
Yeah,
you could name me a random coach in America right now.
Brett Bielema.
I think you put Brett Bielema at Ohio State, they would have been in the same situation.
I think they win a lot of games too.
I actually think their defense would have been better.
Well, I agree with that too, but I don't think their offense would have been as good, and that's kind of Day's specialty. And their offense is insane. Ohio State was dropping about 47 points per game over the course of the entire season last year. They are a juggernaut.
Wait, when did they? So you're claiming the national championship when they got let in after going 4-0 against no one or something?
5-0.
That does not count, dude. That does not count at all.
I mean,
all right.
What was it? He got.
That was the biggest nonsense season ever.
Well,
you wanted to see how corrupt college football was.
In the playoff the year before, and
I know
got bullshit.
I know he did. True.
They should have been in the national championship twice.
Well, those calls were terrible against Clemson, but to quote that year where you just saw the politics that is college football in 2020, completely nonsense.
Sure, but he did win every single game leading up to that. He can't do anything about the fact that the Big Ten decided to be a bunch of pussies and not play football for half the season.
Well, I think he could have done a lot. I think the Ohio State could have done a lot about that.
They did a lot. They're the whole reason football was played. I know there's a Michigan podcast, and look, I want to let's give credit where it's due. Ohio State is a beast, but Michigan did beat them. They finally beat them, and we want to see if Harbaugh.
That to me, that national championship run that never existed.
You're a certified Ryan Day.
Who
hater.
did they beat? Who did they beat that year? They played a 3-5 Nebraska team, a 4-5 Penn State team, right? A 3-6 Rutgers team.
You know who they beat? They throttled a Clemson team.
I don't give a damn. That is worse than any group of 5 schedule I have ever seen.
I don't think they should have been in the playoff based on what they accomplished, but it doesn't take anything away from what Ryan Day did to prepare his team to win every single game he played and then whoop a Clemson team in the playoff. Sure, they got worked by Alabama in the national championship, but so did everyone that year. Ryan Day's a good coach. He's not a great coach, and I agree with what you're saying that anyone.
I really feel. I mean, look, I'm not trying to shit on Ryan Day. I'm really not.
You're right.
I'm just trying to say that program was rolling, and he was gifted this perfect thing.
He was born on third base.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh was right, and I can't wait to watch this year because this is the best rivalry in college football, perhaps. This or Auburn, Bama, or Army, Navy. I don't know, but let's hop into it, Patty C. I think these Michigan fans are like, "What's going on? This has turned into an Ohio." No. Shout out to the Michigan Wolverines. But look, Josh Gaddis is gone. He's with the Miami Hurricanes now. They're just buying every fucking player down there in South Beach. In comes in Sharon Moore and Matt Weiss as the or named the co-OCs. I shouldn't say in comes. But 2 offensive coordinators, Patty C. How do you feel about the 2 offensive not quarterback? Well, in this case, that fits too. But 2 offensive coordinator situation in general.
Well, like we said, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. If you have 2 offensive coordinators, you kind of have none.
Yeah.
But one's an offensive line coach, one's a quarterbacks coach. I kind of like the variety there.
Okay. They were 16th in the nation in scoring offense this season. They go 15th in run offense, 68th in pass offense, 25th in total offense. They're gonna have to battle that Cade McNamara, JJ McCarthy thing. Is there a chance, Patty C, this year?
2 offensive coordinators and 2 quarterbacks.
Is there a chance that it's McCarthy's show?
It shouldn't be. Look, I like the ceiling of a 5-star. I kind of believe sometimes that star matters, that extra star. But Cade McNamara was coveted by Alabama, and he just frankly looked like the better quarterback last year.
Well, Jim Harbaugh just had something to say about Arch Manning, saying he'd be a 3-star, a high 3-star if he rated him, or based on what his analysis of him was. Anyway, McCarthy, McNamara back, running back Blake Corum. This is the thing. I consider him a starter. He was pretty much. He got a lot of burn.
Corum. Let's see. Hassan Haskins had 1,300 rushing yards. Blake Corum 952.
Come on, that's still a starter.
In 2 less games.
That's still a starter. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
You're
damn near 1,000 yard back. You're a starter. Also, more receptions and 6.6 yards per rush versus Hassan Haskins 4.9. He's a big play threat.
Well, I would argue that both wideouts are back, Ronnie Bell and Cornelius Johnson. And Ronnie Bell, he missed the year last year with an injury, but he was a beast when he was playing.
Yeah.
I think they're fine at wide receiver. I think their tight end is back, Eric All. That is good. 3 of 5 offensive linemen are back, led by Zach Zinter, right? Call me crazy. I think this offense is going to be rolling.
I've seen with Remington Award winner, I don't even want to try and pronounce his name, the transfer from UVA at center.
Yeah, so basically you're getting 4 of 5 experienced offensive linemen.
They're supposed to have the best offensive line in the country, supposedly. That is nice.
Can't wait to see what the Wolverines do here. Defensively, Matt McDonald's gone. He's in Baltimore eating crab legs. Right?
Yeah, can't hate on that.
Ravens. In comes in Jesse Minter from Vanderbilt. What's their affiliation with Vanderbilt? One of their OCs played at Vanderbilt.
I don't know.
But Jesse Minter coming in, we'll see. I mean, obviously Harbaugh knows his shit, so I think.
Where was Minter before? Was there a connection?
Ravens, I believe, right?
Okay.
Yeah. With Big Brother, they were 8th in scoring defense a season ago, so he's got. That's a tall order to come into. 27th in run defense, 27th in pass defense, 20th in total defense, and get this: they only have one starter back on the D line. That's Maisie Smith.
Losing some talent on the D line.
2 of 3 in the linebacking core are back though, led by Junior Colson. They get both corners back in DJ Turner and Green, but they are breaking in new safeties. So I think you circle the D line. I think you circle the safety position.
Daxton Hill, a first rounder, right?
The Bengals.
Yeah.
Their kicker and punter are back, and their kicker's like one of the best in the nation, if not the best.
Oh, well, he won the Lou Groza Award for the best kicker in the nation.
The Scott Bentley Award.
What's the Scott Bentley Award?
No. Remember he wide left, Bobby Bowden.
Oh gosh, nice.
Or was that wide right?
I think there was a little bit of both of those.
All right. I mean, I think this team's like if the D line can. I think that's the thing you really circle. The D line is the key to Michigan being really, really good again this year.
The defense is the question mark.
Yeah. So, we're gonna talk transfer portal. We're going to talk recruiting rankings. We're going to talk Vegas expectations of what the Wolverines should be this year. And we're going to go game by game on the Wolverines schedule. But first, I got to get us paid, Patty C.
Let's do it.
And I got to not cough, which is tough. I want to tell you guys that the college football experience, Michigan Wolverines 2022 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBET. Bet $50 at WynnBET, get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBET. Download the WynnBET app now or visit wynnbet.com. That's WYNNBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy and Sleeper, but now you can win cold hard cash with their over/under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. Man, at sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by IPVanish. IPVanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're officially offering 70% off. Go to IPVanish.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by SGPN Discord. Make sure you check out the new Discord server, the perfect place to interact and sweat out some bets with us, the SGPN crew. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. We're also brought to you by Trade Coffee. Trade Coffee connects customers to the freshest and best tasting coffee they've ever made at home by partnering with the country's best craft roasters. And get this, it's expert tasted coffee. All right. This is like Jim Harbaugh when he's up sleeping in the bunk bed. On the I got dibs on top bunk with the kicker, right? It's expert tasted. Harbaugh was expert. He was an expert in the kicking game.
Recruiting.
Yeah, right there. And this is
You're
expert
going up
tasted.
into a tree house.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's Trade's coffee team. They actually taste test thousands of different coffees. It's an incredible job, right? And they keep over 450 different kinds of coffee live and ready to ship out every single day.
A lot of coffee.
It is. That's unbelievable right there. So you got to check it out. All right. Right now, Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off their first order plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/SGP. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free.
Boom.
All right. Get started today by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/SGP. What's up?
People in Ann Arbor like their coffee. I went up there and everyone looks like Waldo. They're coffee drinkers. Drink Trade Coffee is the place to go.
Yes, you got to check it out. And yeah, shout out to Michigan. We love,
And you hung in with the best college football team in the land.
All right, we're back, and I'm sorry,
really
I almost coughed. I almost like I was losing it there a
You
little bit.
almost choked like Ohio State with the playoff berth on the line last year.
Oh, there we go.
Let's go.
Long time since Michigan fans could have that trash talk
I am
on their
glad to
side.
see that rivalry. I want that rivalry more balanced. It's got to get more balanced. All right.
You know, I talked to an Ohio State fan. I used to go to the Ohio State bar a lot in Hollywood, and good people. But they said, you know, secretly they needed Michigan to win because they needed that rivalry. They'll never publicly say it, and they would never enjoy it, but the rivalry does need it, and Michigan did their part this year. So I hope they can continue it for a little while and get that back because that does elevate the conference as a whole.
I agree, and the rivalry in general.
Yeah.
So let's get to this. Once again, subscribe on YouTube, folks. Subscribe to the College Football Experience on any podcast platform that you listen to podcasts at as we break down all 131 teams. Also, remember, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. We talk college basketball year round. We love the Michigan Wolverines, Juwan Howard. Look, I'll slap Patty C right now. All right. I'll do it right now.
It happens all the time. He doesn't get suspended for some reason.
Right? No, honestly, though, we loved college. I'm super excited. Hunter Dickinson back. It's going to be great to talk college hoops year. We talk it year round, but I'm excited about the team preview on the Michigan Wolverines coming up. But Patty C, let's get into this transfer portal wise.
Real quick though, I want to touch on the all conference thing.
Sure, do it.
Preseason, they have between the 4 teams of all conference, first, second, third, fourth team, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, and 4 offensive linemen. Right? The only thing missing, quarterbacks. Not getting a lot of love on the quarterback play, so we're going to see if they can elevate. That's one thing that looks like a weak point. On the defensive side of the ball, only 4 on the 4 preseason all-conference teams. So a little question mark there, but the special teams are loaded. Jake Moody, as we mentioned before, AJ Henning is a rocket ship, and then even Brad Robbins, the punter, but Blake Corum as the kick returner. Punter, kick returner, punt returner, and kicker.
Loaded team. Loaded team. And look, the transfer portal, Jim Harbaugh, he's not gonna be like Lane Kiffin and just pick up 65 people in the transfer portal. He got 2, and I think both will be impact players. Patty C.
Yeah.
You alluded to this offensive lineman, the Remington winner. That is Victor Oluwatimi.
I am impressed. That's amazing.
Transferring in from UVA when he was Brennan Armstrong's offensive lineman there or center.
Ouch.
And on the defensive line, Cam Good is coming in from UCF, the very Golden Knights. So 2 good, two impact players, I think, coming in on the portal. However, Patty C, we grade the portal. We grade it because it's been batshit crazy in college football and college basketball over the past 2 years or 3 years. So I got to talk about what they lost. Defensive lineman Jack Stewart in the portal. 4-star safety Jordan Morant went to Hale State with Mike Leach, our boy. Check out our brand new interview with Mike Leach we just did.
We can forgive him for that.
Yeah, we can forgive him there. Sorry, transfer. Michigan fans.
Yeah.
Also, safety Sammy Fustin. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. He joining Don Brown at UMass. Kicker Cole Husang went to Louisville. Offensive lineman Chuck Falaga went to Minnesota, the Golden Gophers. Quarterback Dan Villari went to Syracuse. Cornerback Andre Seldon went to the New Mexico State Aggies and Jerry Kill. Cornerback George Johnson III went to Don Brown and UMass. Cornerback Darian Green Warren went to the Nevada Wolfpack. Linebacker Anthony Solomon went to the Arizona Wildcats. Offensive lineman Nolan Rumler went to Kent State. And offensive lineman Mahidi Hazime is in the portal. They lost the transfer portal, even though I think they brought in 2 guys that are going to be impact players.
Yeah.
I think we got to say they lost.
You're losing a ton of talent there.
Yeah. I think you got to say they lost it. Slightly. I mean, I do think both those guys will be impact players, and some of those guys were bench players that just needed they weren't going to see the field, go elsewhere. But I think overall lost the portal by a tiny bit.
Well, 77th nationally and then 10th within the conference. That's an L. That's an L. That's an L by Michigan standards.
So talk to me about recruiting rankings.
Recruiting rankings. Let's see. last 5 years, they should be higher than this.
Everyone's making a big deal. Lloyd Carr's son goes to Notre Dame.
Ouch.
Dante Moore goes to Oregon.
These guys are right in your backyard.
Hey,
CJ Carr is part of. We just listened to his grandfather at the beginning of the show. He's a Michigan legend. Led them to their last national championship. I think he should decommit. Harbaugh needs to go to that kid and talk some sense into him. I know Marcus Freeman's a rock star, but come on, this is Michigan football.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I cut you off. Recruiting rankings. Talk to me about
last 5 years nationally: 22, 10, 12, 13, and 12. Within the conference, that's been good for 3, 1, 2, 2, and 3. The 4-year composites, thereabouts. Low teens for the most part, and second or third in the conference recruiting or in terms of composite talent in any given year. Obviously behind Ohio State. And who else would be the
Penn State would be in that mix, right?
Why do I not have that?
I think Penn State, especially this past year, I think had a great class, right?
Penn State was third.
So
it is Penn State.
All right. Well, look, if you're subscribed on YouTube to the College Football Experience or watching on YouTube, you will see this sweet graphic here. Shout out to the TCE graphic team. The expectations in Vegas, the win total is at 9.5. Patty C with the juice. The over is at -125. The under is at +105. So Vegas leaning towards a 10-2 season. Obviously, this year's game is in Columbus. Hopefully, it's in the snow, just like that game in Ann Arbor was against Ohio State.
That does favor Michigan for sure, because Ohio State throws the ball around and Michigan runs the ball.
So shall we hop into this and project? I want to say this, as much as I'm a big Jim Harbaugh fan, and I was so super glad to see Michigan make the CFP last year, the invitational. They're at a conference schedule this year's absolute dog shit.
Call the ace the ace.
That is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic out of conference football schedule. It really is. And I would argue this might be the worst in the I think UCLA is up there for one of the worst in the nation.
Last year was respectable. You had Washington on the slate, and you're playing a 9-game conference slate.
Very respectable.
But
let's just get to it. The first 3 weeks of the season: Saturday, September 3rd, they get Colorado State. Saturday, September 10th, they get Hawaii. Saturday, September 17th, that is UConn. Not only are all three of those teams trash, they're all breaking in new head coaches, and they're 0 Power 5.
And all three are in Michigan.
Yeah. This is a terrible out of conference schedule.
Yeah, it's laughable. They are.
We talk shit about Alabama scheduling all the time. We talk shit about whatever. This is on that level. This is worse, in my opinion.
Yeah. Honestly, the SEC can kind of get away with that because they have a couple teams that have won national championships recently.
Well, I think the key to winning a national championship is scheduling lightly. Watch Michigan win the national championship this year.
Exactly. So they haven't been doing this, but
college football is look, as much as we love it, it is in a way like a pyramid scheme. If you schedule lightly,
there's a lot of bullshit.
So, this you got them 3-0 in those stretch, Patty C?
Of course. They're going to absolutely dominate.
Which game will be the closest of those three?
Colorado State.
I think maybe the Colorado State game.
Although that's Norvell's first go.
I know.
Yeah.
All three games.
Timmy
Chang and then Jim Mora Jr. All three are brand new coaches.
Mora might have the best coaching chops of all of those. I don't know. Norvell's pretty good.
Program. What do you mean? UConn? They're fresh off a national championship in 2020.
That's right. So says the New York Times. Colorado State probably the hardest matchup, but Michigan still wins that. Give me a score on that. What do you think?
I think that could be the closest one, and I think maybe in the first half. No, but seeing what they brought back
offensively,
I don't think Colorado State can fuck around there. Give me I'll say 41-21 final.
I think that's being generous to Colorado State.
Really? So a 20-point loss?
Yeah, I do. Because how good was Colorado State last year?
I think they only won like 3 or 4 games.
They got a new coach, a new system, and they were 3-9 last year. Michigan, meanwhile, bringing back. Usually, it's if your offense takes longer to gel than your defense.
But it's not.
Michigan's bringing back a fine-tuned machine.
I'm saying, but Norvell brings in like his whole team.
It's true.
It's not like a normal scenario of like switching over.
They bring over like 9 transfers.
Yeah, and they're starting quarterback and their OC and everything.
It'll happen faster. Plus, Michigan's like troubles on defense. Maybe the air raid gives them some trouble.
Either way,
points,
okay,
they're going to dominate.
Maybe 41-17. You know what I mean?
I want to say 47-13, Michigan.
I think they'll get more than 13.
You might be right.
You're underestimating how many players were in Nevada lighting it up. Week 2 though, they play the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. I do think Michigan will run for 1,000 yards this game. All right. So
we forgot
this
to
one,
mention Donovan Edwards, who's also a stud. Did we mention?
No, I don't think we did.
Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards is not even really a
1-2
step back.
punch. Yeah. This one I will say 67-7, Patty C.
Hawaii versus Michigan. Wow. A lot of points.
Then UConn comes to town, fresh off that natty 2 years ago. And I'm gonna say this one, 52-10.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Then the Maryland Terrapins. Now let me ask you, but who's better, UConn or Maryland?
Well, this game last year, Michigan won 59-18.
I think it's gonna be similar.
And that was in College Park.
I think it's gonna be similar.
Like how Michigan plays every single game in Ann Arbor during the month of
That's
September.
ridiculous. That's
Come on, people.
yeah. I got Maryland scoring 21 this year. Give me 49-21 Michigan final. Right.
Okay.
Then Saturday, October 1st.
Here's one that stands out as one you circle on the calendar.
Yes, Michigan's had not a great track record when it comes to playing in Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City.
Yeah,
and that is why Patty C. I am calling the upset special here.
Calling the upset.
Do we have a time? No, we don't have a time on this yet. If this is a night game, Michigan's fucked. If it's day game, Michigan could steal it.
I want to see the recent history at Iowa. 2 straight losses. 3 straight. 4 straight. 4 straight losses, but then they 1-5 in their last 6 trips. I'm sure we could keep going back, but needless to say, you're right. Kinnick hasn't been super kind to the Wolverines.
Well, and they play the same style of football.
Yeah, if it's cold and Iowa gets cold, but it's too early in the season.
It is. It's going to be hot. But
42-3 in the Dome in the Big Ten championship. Will Ferentz get his boys to serve that?
I could see Michigan winning this, but I just give me Ferentz and Iowa upset special 21-20.
I agree with you.
21. They'll be up 20-14. Michigan will be and Iowa will score a block punt touchdown or something.
Yeah. We've seen this one play out a lot, just like this. Whether it be Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan. You come into Kinnick, you think you're rolling.
That place is tough to win at, man. It's tough to win at. So the following week, back-to-back away here, they go to Memorial Stadium and the Indiana every stadium in college
creatively
football.
named a Memorial Stadium.
They're gonna beat Indiana. They bounce back. They beat Indiana. Give me something like 35-16.
There we go.
All right. Then they host the Penn State Nittany Lions. They get back into the playoff mix.
Huge game.
They're going to beat Penn State in Ann Arbor, but it's going to be a ball game.
Let me tell you what, Penn State coming off a bye. Will they be prepped up for this? Will they have Michigan diagnosed a little better?
It's going to be an awesome game.
What was the score on this one last year? 21-17.
I thought Penn State was going to win this game last year.
Yeah, that kind of
that was a wild game.
That's a slept on like miracle game. What was it? The big screen pass at the end, or the tight end screen. Shit. Michigan escaped on that one pretty badly.
So I'm gonna say Michigan wins. You?
Yeah, I am.
So by the bye week, I got them sitting there at 6-1. Right?
Yeah.
They host Mel Tucker and Michigan State. Mel Tucker's 2-0 against them. It's not happening this year. This is a guarantee.
Michigan State coming off a bye
guarantee
as well.
you Michigan wins this game.
Wow.
Guarantee.
I feel like Michigan's been pretty damn confident every time they play Michigan State and have been pretty damn hungry every time they played them.
They win this one.
And it still hasn't worked out.
They win this one.
I think you're right. I think they get it.
Yes. 7-1. Then they go at Rutgers.
That's 8-1.
8-1. Although didn't they go to like overtime last time they went to Rutgers?
Was it?
I think so.
And Rutgers played them within 7 points last year.
Rutgers, Shiano knows how to play them a little bit.
He does.
Watch out that game.
Ground and pound stuff don't work on Shiano.
Then they host the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We know Nebraska was like the best 3-9 team in the history of college football, but I'm taking Michigan.
In Ann Arbor, you kind of have to, but watch out because they escaped on them last year too.
They did. They really did. Then they get the Illinois Fighting Illini. Brett Bielema. That's a win.
But could it be a little of the same of Shiano action where you're just playing smash mouth football?
They handle them.
Yeah,
they handle them.
They got enough weapons.
Then comes the game Saturday, November 26th at Ohio State.
Here we go again. What's it going to be?
That's just too tough. But I'm hoping. Give me some weather. You know what?
Don't call it. Don't call it because you're gonna have to do the Ohio State preview in about a week here, and I don't want people are gonna remember. You're gonna have to choose Michigan then too if you go Michigan now. What are you gonna do? Because I'm gonna call you out if you change it up.
Give me Ohio State, I guess. Gosh, I was close to taking Michigan right there.
Sorry, guys, I didn't want to be the guy to ruin your fun.
What are you doing?
I did ruin your fun, and I am going Buckeyes. And look, I want Michigan to win too, and I think they have a very good chance. I expect this game to be outstanding.
Yes,
Columbus is going to be a tough place to play, and they're going to really want to get revenge.
Well, especially after what Harbaugh said. Oh God, I can't wait for that fucking game. But
if Michigan gets it again.
Please. I want them to. I want them to.
Let's go.
But I'm still on the over because the win total's at 9.5. I think Michigan goes 10-2, and I think there's a chance they go 11-1.
Playoff
that
berth.
Iowa game, they could win that.
What's Michigan's upside?
12-0.
12-0, 13-0 with the conference championship, and then
they gotta get that conference championship out of that stupid dome.
Yeah.
Can't stand that Lucas Oil shit. Yeah, play it at Soldier Field or the Brown Stadium or how about
Big
Canton?
Ten. Yeah,
like the fucking USFL just did.
There it is.
I'm on the over though. I think I like it. I think it's a solid play. You?
I like it. What is it? That's locked.
Yeah,
that is an absolute lock.
Patty C locked it up last year. He's locking it up again this year. We are the College Football Experience. Subscribe. We are both on the over. Also, folks, remember, if you go to iTunes, give us a 5-star review, take a screenshot of that. Find us on Twitter at TCE on SGPN or my personal account at TheColbyD. Show us that screenshot, and we'll send you a college football experience that'll look like that pennant if you're watching on YouTube right now. Patty C's on Twitter at PattyC831. Give him a follow. NC Nick is on Twitter at NC_NICK. Give us all a follow. We are the College Football Experience. And remember, we also host the College Basketball Experience. So subscribe over there as we're talking college ball or college basketball all year over there.
Apparently, Juwan Howard's kid is supposed to be one of the best players from this class coming in.
Yeah, I saw Braylon Edwards tweet out that he ran into Juwan Howard, I think somewhere at the store or something.
There it is.
Shout out to Juwan Howard and the Wolverines. I'm excited about their to preview them, and I think UVA plays at Michigan this year in college basketball.
Sorry, Wolverines. I'm going to dump on you.
ACC Big Ten Challenge.
We're coming to your house and we're beating you.
Oh, bold.
There it is.
Bold.
Wahoo!
Cannot wait for the season for both kickoff. Yeah. You know that kickoff against Colorado State. What's that?
Yeah, big time kickoff against Colorado State. It will be fun. What I wanted to ask you though is what's their upside playoff wise? Can they take the next step? Can they win a playoff game? Can they win the national championship?
Sure. It depends who they get.
Alabama's still out there.
I mean, I think Alabama's the best team in the nation, unfortunately.
Yeah, they won't probably beat Alabama.
But if someone else were, if Alabama gets matched up, you never know. You know, it's like these. It's like in any playoff. It's like these people that don't think we should expand. We should clearly expand, and they're like, "Well, then you can't deem the champ." And it's like, well, how many wild card teams have we seen in the NFL make the Super Bowl and win?
Yeah.
All right, we need a large playoff, and that's. But Michigan, yes, if they get the right matchup, they can win.
Even if
they
not,
can win the national championship.
People say if you expand the playoff, Alabama will win the whole thing every year.
That's a lie.
They've made
that is a flat lie.
They made it 7 out of the 8 times,
Yeah.
and guess what? In those 7 championships or 7 playoffs, they only won 3.
Yeah.
Right. And guess what? I did the research. In that 8th year, they still wouldn't have made the playoff in an 8-team
exactly.
playoff. So expand the damn thing.
Expand it. All right, folks. Get the SGPN app. Check out. The Discord channel. Come sweat out some bets with us. A lot of fun. Check out all the other podcasts, sports gambling podcasts. We just had Pat McAfee on. We just had Mike Leach on. We had, I don't know, a bunch of classic people on. Bill Burr, fucking Larry the Cable Guy was on talking Nebraska football. Jerry Glanville. You go on and on and on. He's a Michigan guy. Not a Michigan Wolverine guy, but he grew up in Michigan, so that counts. That counts.
There you go.
All right, folks. He's on the over. I'm on the over. I can't wait for the season. All right, folks. This is the College Football Experience, Michigan Wolverine style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Well, I don't get the brain, mate.
They're begging us. Please have a party. Feed us drinks. Get us laid.